bill, or they did bring in a bill, which has to do with expanding the legislation surrounding workers' compensation when it comes to some of the forms of cancer for firefighters. What are your thoughts on needing to beef up something like that?
The minister said yesterday during question period that work is already ongoing right now. We're looking at what's happening across the country. Various provinces cover different cancers and other issues associated with the fire profession. And we're doing that with the idea of making changes to ours.
And when do you expect those changes might be made?
I've got a question for the minister, but I would suspect they'll probably be within the fall session. I don't know if they'll be ready for the spring.
So how would those changes resemble what the NDP is proposing?
I'm not sure what they've proposed. I think what we have is that there are certain cancers in other provinces that are being covered that have been identified as being directly related to the profession that may not be covered in Nova Scotia, and we want to make sure that as we look across that we're actually treating not only our professional firefighters, but we're making our volunteer firefighters as well have this kind of coverage.
Last night there was an event talking about, it was called No More Warehousing. It had to do with disability self-advocates talking about a need for spaces designed specifically for them, long-term care. What are your thoughts on that? I know we had asked about that not too long ago, and you said that there is a need for finding different ways. What kind of work is being done by the government to change the way long-term care is doled out for people, who have disabilities?
Well, there's the ongoing transformation that's happening with all of our assisted living facilities. You're looking, we're seeing our goal really is to move people to independent living. One of the issues, though, and I don't know whether this is the one that's been raised, is the issue of young people who actually find themselves in long-term care facilities. Looking at how do we address that. That work would be is continued ongoing because we know there's a certain level of care that would be required. What we hope, though, is that we put them in an environment where they're more with their own peers as opposed to with more experienced citizens in our province. That work is continuing with both the Minister of Health and the Minister of Community Services.
But in the last few years, there hasn't been any addition to nursing home beds. Is that something that we could assume that if that work is ongoing, that there will be an addition to those sort of services?
Well, we announced 50 new beds in Kilbretton with the redevelopment. They'll be part of that. There's in the Clare community, we were announcing with the municipality, working with them around the Villa Acadian, the long-term care facility. At the same time, we announced in conjunction with that and near property, a small options facility to do that very thing. And how do we provide a myriad of options for those who require some support in their living arrangements.
Premier, what are your thoughts on what's happening in Ottawa with Cabinet Minister Judy Wilson-Raybould?
Listen, I've been watching it like all Canadians. There's obviously continued in any government. There's obviously a great debate around the tables, public policy. I don't know all the intimate details associated with it, and I wish them well.
Do you feel that it will in any way tarnish the Liberal brand?
Oh, listen, I'm going to continue to focus on delivering a government in Nova Scotia. That's been my mandate. I don't think people look at political brands. I think what they look at are governments. People who, there's an old saying, you get voted out, and then you continue to get re-elected. If you look at the way we've governed, it's been one that people of right of centre have been supporting our government. Fiscally conservative Nova Scotians who recognize we have put a great track record fiscally together, ensuring that we deal with the issues and challenges facing the province. So the question really becomes, people will judge you not on your political title or political party title, they judge you on how you deal with the issues that are facing their families.
So you don't see any blowback or any effect on your chances or your government's chances for re-election?
We'll be judged on our own record.
Thanks.